Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. It's Monday night, and this is That's Fancy. So I hope everyone is having a good Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. And I'll just give you a moment to hop on here with me while I get everything set up here. And hopefully, hopefully technology is going to work with us tonight. So, hi, Lorna. Thank you for your email, Lorna. I did see it. I don't think I replied, but you were looking for Slimline cards. So tonight we're going to do some Slimline cards. So that was a request for tonight. So we'll make some Slimline cards. I was sort of thinking maybe we would do some Valentine's Day cards or some Galentine's Days cards. It's big. Becoming bigger these days to celebrate with your gal friends, your girlfriends, and share with each other how much we appreciate the friendship, and so we send them a Galentine's Day card. So whatever, we're going to make some cards that could be used for February 14th, we'll say, however you celebrate it, or they could be used for anniversary cards, possibly wedding cards, or birthday cards, whatever you like. It's just sharing some love and some friendship. Hi, Donna, welcome. Glad you could join us tonight. So tonight, I was just telling Lorna we're going to make Slimline cards, and at least a couple. And as usual, I have some ideas, but I don't have a whole lot prepared. So we'll kind of create as we go. But anyway, I am just going to flip us down and we can get started. Okay, there we go. So I have pulled out, kind of almost everything I could think of that might relate to Valentine's Day or celebrating love or whatever, without actually using Valentine's Day stamps as we would traditionally think about them. And there are some really wonderful sets in the new mini catalog that could be used for a number of different occasions, but really are focusing on Valentine's Day and that sort of thing. So the Sweet Talk Sweet, say that fast 3 times, is one of them. And there's all these cute little candy hearts that you can cut out with the dies and things. And there's paper and, of course, ribbon and embellishments and all those fun things. And then there is this one, Sweet Conversations. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's the same one. That's the one from the Sweet, isn't it? Sweet Conversations. Yes, it is. Same one. And then there is this one, Love and Happiness. And this it's all sentiments, but it's got lots of sentiments. And then it also has an embossing folder and dies, and a die and embossing folder. It's, what do they call it? A hybrid embossing folder. So it embosses and die cuts all in one fell swoop. So that is sort of very traditional Valentine's Day as we would think of it. But there's lots of ways to make cards that you can share with others to show how much you care or your love or whatever, without actually using those sets. So I have pulled out a few things. If I was going to be making some cards for some of my girlfriends in the shaded summer, there's Love You Friend. That's a wonderful sentiment that you could put on that card. Or some friendships are just meant to be. It's kind of an implied message, but certainly could be used to celebrate Gal's Day, Galentine's Day. My heart is smiling because of you. There's another one because it's, Happy Heart Day and all that sort of thing. What a beautiful day for love. That's a little bit more along the lines of wedding or anniversary, I think. personally, but you know what? It's everybody's tastes are different. Everybody's thoughts are different. And obviously you can use whatever you like to celebrate with your girlfriends or with your spouse or whatever you like. So those are just a couple that I pulled out. I may look for some more as we go, but anyway. And then I did cut a couple of card bases for Slimline cards. So this is just thick Whisper white, and I have cut this 8 inches across here, and it's scored at 4 inches, and then it's the full width of the paper, so 8.5. So it's 8.5 by 8 scored at 4. So that makes a 4-inch by 8.5 inch card. And I'm just going to fold that while I'm here. Oh, grab my bone folder. Give this a nice press down. See how we did. Oh, we had that one nicely scored. So there we go. And this, the Slimline cards, there are envelopes in the new mini catalog, but any of your Slimline cards will fit in a standard number 10 envelope, which is one of these, because there's lots of room. These are 9.5 by 4 1/8. So your 4 inches is going to fit in okay, and you'll have a little bit extra in the length. So that's just what we used to call a standard business envelope, I guess. But they will fit in there. Or if you want something a little bit fancier, there are some in the mini catalog that I set way over there. So, and they are, let's see if I can find them easily now. They are near the back with the big Slimline dies. I thought they were further back than this, but let's see. Oh, here we go. So here they are. So here we have the Slim sayings. So these sentiments are designed more specifically to fit onto Slimline cards, although this one looks quite large. How big is that? That looks like it's maybe more than 4 inches wide. Not sure how big they were making their Slimline cards. Largest die, 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. So it shouldn't. Okay. Oh, yeah, it would be pretty tight. It would fit just a, oh, haha. If you do it landscape, it fits just fine. Look at that. And it is longer, so the proportions would look good, and that's why it is so long. Same with the Happy for You. But all of these are sized and proportioned to fit on a Slimline card. And then there are some dies that cut out these shapes, as well as the chevrons, and then some bordering pieces. And here's the envelopes here. They're kind of tucked in the back, kind of hiding over here. They're on page 53. So these are all fancy envelopes. They've got envelope liners that are patterned. They come in colors: soft succulent, white, and smoky slate. So you get the 3 different colors. You get 5 of each in the package. So if you want to be extra fancy schmancy, there you go. There's some fancy envelopes, but you can use just a standard business envelope. Okay, just some different options for you. Okay, we'll get rid of the envelope stuff. I don't think we'll need those again. So here is our card, and because we were doing love and Valentine's Day and that sort of thing, I have pulled out both of the heart punches. These are in the annual catalog, and a little bit hard to see till I punch it. I could just punch it, couldn't I? Hey, Connie, why don't you just punch one of those, and then everyone will be able to see it? Oh, great idea. Okay, so I have pulled out some pinks and reds, kind of the color of the night, I think. So this is Blushing Bride, and I will just punch. Oops, probably should stamp a sentiment on here first, but I'll just punch it so you can see it. And then I will punch, I'm going to punch one in real red, and I'm going to punch this out of the middle of here, because I could actually take a few out of here, couldn't I? This is how to extend your cardstock. So I'm pushing the punch or the paper in as far as I can to punch it so that I still have nice border here. But if we layer some designer series paper on top of this, no one will know. So that's how we can extend our cardstock. Because look, I just punched 3 real red hearts out of there, and no one will be the wiser. So back to my hearts. So this is how you can layer the hearts, and you can stamp a sentiment on here because I did that in a light color. So we might do that in a moment. This paper is from the Artistically Inked suite. This is, you may recall, is the gorgeous inked look paper. Does that make any kind of sense? I could grab the pack because this is very different from a lot of what's in that package. If I can find it, where did I put it? Okay, it's out somewhere, but I have another pack right here. So there's that gold, but this is what's in this package. This is from the annual catalog, and this is the one with all of these beautiful ink and gold patterns. You can't actually see the gold. There you go. There's the shiny gold. And there's gold in these flowers. You can see it shining there, I think. The dark green that is beautiful and elegant. You could even use this to back a card with, you know, if you added some hearts and things, it would still look very elegant and could be used for anniversaries or weddings or whatever. Here's pink. So there's a color that we think of for, you know, love and all that. This one actually has stripes down the middle as well. So 3 sections that you could stamp a sentiment in there. And pretty on the back too, but there is the gold is not on the back of these sheets. So anyway, that is what that paper is from. So I'll just slide this back in here. We can always go back and use some more of that later if we decide that's what we would like to do. But that is where this came from. And I just thought, oh, just, you know, some nice gold stripes, that would work. So I think I'm going to use liquid glue to get down my edges. Actually, I don't want to go to the edges of that because this is the smaller piece. Always put your glue on the smaller piece, because if you put your glue on the bigger piece, it might stick out and show. So, yeah. So anybody do anything exciting on the weekend? Who was I talking to? I was talking to someone on Zoom. Oh, it was the church that I went to in Markham. They had a Ask the Pastor session last night, and last night it was living in a world with COVID, and you know, how we do that as Christians and stuff. But they had just a little, you know, a sort of a meet and greet, a catch up with everyone before the program actually started. So we could, you know, chat and things, and because nobody's seen anybody for so long. And it's like, okay, so, you know, what's been going on in your life? And everybody's like, oh, I went grocery shopping today. I did grocery shopping. Oh, I saw so-and-so at the grocery store. It's like, all anybody does is go grocery shopping because nobody's going anywhere else. We're sort of staying home, and they're all in Markham, so it's still things are pretty shut down in the Toronto area, I think. So they weren't getting out a whole lot. Although there was one woman that used to go to the church. She's now out in Calgary, and she said out there it's quite open. So it all depends where you are and what's going on. Anyway, I was thinking we could just put some hearts onto this, and that might be a quick and easy kind of card. So I could punch 2 more of these pink ones, and then I could stamp a sentiment onto one of them, or we could, don't know whether this is the same color as some of the others. So I think we may need to stick with plain paper, but we could emboss it, couldn't we? That's kind of thinking. We could run it through the embossing folder. That would give it some texture. That might be kind of fun. I, of course, did not bring over my embossing machine. So let's see what we have here. So we have some checks and dots. There's a really nice new one. It's called Stripes and Splatters, and the splatters are very cool. I really like it, but I don't have it yet. So tonight we can't use that one, but we could use maybe dots. Do we think dots? I think maybe dots would be better than checks, or we could do one of each. I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts? Or we could, oh no, I was gonna say, or we could do the one and only folder that's in here, but they're both in here. So we have checks, which if I put this in here, you may be able to see it. I don't know. Well, it really doesn't show up too well. Anyway, it's little squares. I'm not sure about that, but maybe some dots. Let's see. Polka dots. Yeah, I think maybe some polka dots. Let's drop a couple of hearts. We'll run it through. If we don't like it, we don't have to use it. It can be for something else. But we will put this in, and I probably need a different plate, don't I, than what I have here. Okay, so grab the other plates. So, insert embossing folder. One of these. Use with 3D. Okay, so this is just standard embossing folder. Okay, so we don't need our cutting plates. We do need our spacer plate. And then we're going to put in our polka dots. When you're embossing, you always want to make sure that you have the hinge going in first. Otherwise, it can crack just from the pressure pushing towards the hinge. So you always want to have the hinge side going in first. And sometimes we run our dies forward and back if they're sort of intricate to make sure they're cut well. You don't need to do that with embossing folders. They will emboss first time through. So, but you don't want to run it backwards, because then again, as you run through, if you're pushing on this, it puts pressure on, pressure on this hinged edge. So you always want to run it from the hinge so that any pressure just pushes out the open part. If that makes any kind of sense. Dots is your vote. Well, that's good. I just saw that now, Lorna, but glad we're both on the same page there. Or no, sorry, Lorna. Donna and Lorna. Those names are going to be, they're very similar. Okay, so what do we think? I think that will work. I kind of like that. Those dots work, but then we need a sentiment. So here's how we'll decide what sentiment to use. Which one will fit in the heart now that we've already punched it out? Let's see. I'm not sure that the love you friend where is it? We could always do birthday too, couldn't we? Thank you. Okay. Why? Oh, here we go, right here. Looking at it, can't see it. Oh, I don't think this will fit. We could, of you, friend. So I don't think we're gonna, unless we did it, we could do it like a banner across here, couldn't we? If we did it on a white strip of cardstock, that might work. See, you know, when you take things out, you play with them, all of a sudden you get ideas, you feel inspired. And I'm going to say it's all your ladies' fault. You inspire me. Now, we could have done that one with the embossing then, couldn't we, if we're going to do this on a strip of white paper. Maybe we should emboss this guy too, just so he's not left out of the fancy part. Okay, we'll stick this guy in here. We'll give him some polka dots. In my plates. Sorry, it kind of shakes when I use this, doesn't it? There we go. So we got hearts everywhere. We just need some basic white cardstock. So look, I have a little bit, do you think? This is my bucket of scrap bits when I cut stuff or punch stuff or die cut or whatever. I have lots of basic white bits left. So I just have a bucket of them, and then when I just need a little piece for a sentiment or something, I go there. So I have no idea whether I have this on here straight or not, so we're just going to stamp it down once. I don't even know whether this is wide enough. I'm going to stamp it. We have lots of paper. I've totally messed it up. So we're not going to use that one. We're going to try that again. But let me see if I can tell if it will even fit. I think it will fit if I get it right. I just stamped that really poorly. So we'll go over here, try this one more time, see if we can get it straight. It's always hard to stamp straight when you have your paper crooked too. That's possibly part of the problem. Okay, so there's a little bit of space at the top, but I kind of think this is a little bit too narrow. I think I need one that is 3/4 of an inch wide. And I don't know, this is a little more than 3/4 of an inch. Okay, maybe I will cut some off of here. So I'm going to grab my trimmer, set the ink to the side for a moment so I don't lean in it. And I'm just going to cut. And, you know, not that I don't trust my stamping, but I'm going to cut a couple while I'm here. What do you think? 2? Are we optimistic that I can get it right in 2 tries? We'll be optimistic for now. Okay. It's right down there. I think this is going to fit better. We needed that extra width. Oh, look what I did. You ever get those halos when you stamp? Can you see that? You can't even see that on the camera, can you? I'll hold it up here so I can fess up to what I did. It's because I pushed too hard in my ink pad. So as much as it is 2-sided paper, I have this other one ready. So maybe I'll just, I'll try this one. And if I mess up, then I'm going back and using my 2-sided cardstock. We will do this. And I will try not to wiggle it this time so that even if I did get it on the top, it won't show. There we go. Now, It's kind of crooked though. Oh yeah, you hate doing that. Yeah, two-sided cardstock. See, here we go. We're using the second side of this cardstock. I don't know. Sometimes I find it so hard to get stuff straight and right. That's better. It still looks a little crooked, but gosh, it's not a good night for stamping, ladies. I should go back and look at this. I've probably mounted my stamp crooked, and that's probably part of what's messing me up. I'm going to say that's what's messing me up. That's going to be my story. Oh, look, that one is beautiful. We're going to use that one. There, I'm going to quit right now because that one works. Now, I didn't leave a lot of room to cut chevrons in this, which I probably should have, but I'm not stamping it again because it is straight. So we're going to cut this off so it is about the same. And maybe we will just put a really tiny little notch in the end like this, just to give it a little itty bitty bit of shape. There we go. I think that'll work okay. It's a little small. I should have stamped over a bit further, but you know, since we took as many tries as we did at getting it straight. Do you see that? Do you see how I just transferred all of that crooked stamping to all of us? We took that many tries to get it straight. Did you hear that? You're with me on this journey. Okay, I've done better, but you know what? I think it will work okay. And this can now go across one of these hearts. We could even do it on a jaunty little angle. Okay, let's put this baby together. So I'm thinking maybe we'll glue these down. We'll glue all of these hearts on, and then we're going to pop up 2 of them, and we're going to glue the 3rd one down that we're going to put the banner on and pop that whole thing up. Did that make any kind of sense? Okay, let me just find my dimensionals here, and we will be good to go. Okay, so I said we were going to pop up 2 of these. Some of these have funky paper on, so we'll just put some of these on here. Oops. There we go. We'll put these onto our red hearts. Okay. So as much as I had some ideas, they were pretty vague, so it takes a little while to create, doesn't it? There we go. Yes, I like that. Oh, that'd be a good sandwich. Valentine cookies, like they have in the grocery store, those shortbread kind of cookies that have about ½ an inch of icing on them. They're so sweet, but they look so pretty. They get you every time. That's what I always like if there's a retreat coming up, because then I have an excuse to buy a package of them, but I don't have to eat them all because there's just way too many super sweet things to get through. So, okay, I should clean that stamp, but I think I've buried my stamp cleaner right now. So I will do that later. Might be using real red again. Okay, put some liquid glue onto this guy. We'll do this flat and then pop this part up. Now, I know that this is a little bit longer, so I just want to make sure my dimensionals are in a little bit so that they are on the heart and not hanging over the edge in mid-air. So, and I'm thinking we will do top and bottom, and we'll put the sentiment in the middle, maybe on an angle. A little bit like Cupid's bow and arrow. Oops, maybe I should get it a little more centered though, shouldn't I? Okay. There we go. There, okay. Now, I'm gonna take this off. I am going to attach this piece to my card base. Oh, this is longer. You have to remember to go a little further with your tape runner on these long cards, don't you? And I'm just going to go right across some of this part. And where? Oh, there. Card base is hiding over here. So we will get this on here. And this, oh, I should have used liquid glue because I made this narrow, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, well, here's hoping. Get it straight and centered. Okay, I think we're good. That's good because there's no wiggle when you use tape runner. Okay, and then we are ready to put our parts on. Okay, so I am just going to kind of eyeball this and hope for the best. So that's on the second line. So this is on the second line. The lines are not all identical, but I think they're close enough. We'll go in the middle. Over a smidge. There we go. Okay, I'm pushing it down. There we go. So there we go. It actually is a pretty easy card to make once you get it all figured out. Oh, Lorna, thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's not difficult though, is it? But yeah, it looks good. You know, you put fancy hearts on something, and you know what? I don't even know that it needs any gems because it's got so much shine in the back with that gold paper. So there we go. Okay, one card done. And look at that. We probably have time to do another card because we're on a roll now, aren't we? Isn't that it? We're on a roll. We'll see whether we're on a roll. Okay, so I have another same size card base. Also, thanks for the love. I'm glad you like it, Donna. Another card base, same size for another Slimline card. And this time, I was thinking we would just go with the real red on here. I'm not gonna glue it down yet. I have that with another narrow border. We might want to make this piece a little bit wider border, but we'll see. And then what else did I have? Oh, okay. So I have some square vellum doilies that I thought would be nice for Valentine's Day. Oh, look, I don't think we're going to cut the red down because they just fit in that size red. We could put some lace around this whole card for our background, and then we could do some hearts, some fancy hearts again. Maybe we'll make this one kind of similar, just using some different ingredients. What do you think? So, what did I float? Okay, so this is the supple shimmer card stock that is in the mini catalog. I haven't even opened it yet. And there's 2 pieces in here. One they call blue. This one they call blue. It is very, very, it looks kind of white on the camera, but you can see that it is reflecting a little bit green. It's kind of a pale, like an ice blue almost. So it's almost like a white ice sort of look with a little bit of, like an opal. That probably describes it about as best as I can. So there's that one. But then there's, ooh, look at all that. Woo, that's a lot of pink. So we would not do a whole card with this because that just kind of hurts the eyes. But I'm thinking that I could punch some of these fancy hearts with this. I could punch this, and then we could put, now I don't know how that's going to look on the red though, actually, now that I sort of lay that down there. It doesn't show up very well with the red background. He thinks maybe we need a different color background, but I don't know whether we should go completely away from red or whether we should abandon that pink for now, because I also pulled out this. This is the mother of pearl paper. And we did look at this during the catalog kickoff. This is the white, it's white looking, but it's very shiny, lots of shimmer to this one as well. So let me cut, I will punch a heart with this one as well. And then we can kind of see what we think. I do like that pink though, it's pretty, but I don't think it doesn't show up, doesn't pop on the red. And then I don't know whether this one will really pop on the doily. Oh, this was going to be easy, but now I'm not sure it is. And then we could maybe put, can we put pink on top of this? Maybe we could put pink on top of that. That might work. Let's punch a pink glitter heart, just the inside one, the smaller one, and see what we think of that. I'm finding it ever so slightly difficult to punch today. My last lesson, I had a couple little boys and I was helping one stand up, and I think I don't know whether I overextended something. I don't even know really where it is, but it's kind of through here somewhere into my wrist. It's kind of a little sore tonight, and it feels very weak. So it's hard even to punch. But, okay, that is kind of pretty. We'll build from the top down and see when it stops working. So, yeah, I don't know about this doily now with the mother of pearl. I don't think we want just plain red paper. That's a little too boring. What are we thinking? Have we seen anything we like yet? Should we change out the back red? I wonder if it was cherry cobbler, whether that would work better with this pink. Although there it looks okay. You know, on the white, it pops better than, this doesn't work. This has too much red around the pink. It gets lost. So it needs something other than that. Could even do, I also pulled out just the gold foil paper, as I thought gold might work. So let's see what that looks like. Look, last I was doing Christmas cards with gold foil paper. Okay, we'll punch a gold heart and see what this looks like. That's very nice too. Okay, so here's mother of pearl. And here, oh, that's really hard to see, isn't it? What do you think? You can't hardly see that, can you? So that is the pink on the gold. Hopefully you can kind of see how that looks there. And when I put that down on here, can I change this light if I tilt it? It's a little hard to see the gold, isn't it? Let me tell you, the gold, I think the gold works. It could be an option, or let's put it back onto the mother of pearl. I kind of think the white shows more. It makes it pop more. You see it better, I think, than the gold. So I'm kind of thinking maybe this. I do like the doilies on there, and I like the red. I was going to try some cherry cobbler though, wasn't I? Let me grab cherry cobbler. Okay, so I won't cut this just yet, but we'll put it, I guess we don't really need the card base. It's just white, so it's not really going to change much. Let's just see if we put this on cherry cobbler, whether we think that might actually be a little bit better. Shows up a little better, but still not quite right. Okay, so, so there's cherry cobbler. Everybody have a look. I should take this out. That really confuses the eye, doesn't it? And there's real red. Any thoughts? Real red. Cherry cobbler, kind of, sort of. I'm kind of thinking maybe the cherry cobbler. It's not quite as traditional red for Valentine's Day. The white looks good on the real red. Okay, well, the people have spoken. Okay, so we can do, we'll do another one of these mother of pearl. Big hearts. There we go. And we need another small pink heart. You know what? It is hard to tell some of the different colors on camera, Lorna. I get it. It can be kind of tough. So, okay, but we're going to do it this way. And I think I'm going to pop these up just so you can see a little bit more of the mother of pearl, kind of, you know, get a little peek underneath almost. So we'll do that as soon as I find where I put my dimensionals. Here we go. Okay. Using dimensionals on this fancy paper, the foil paper and things, is also a good idea because sometimes tape runner doesn't stick to it as well. So dimensionals seem to stick to everything. So there's another good reason to use dimensionals. That, and because it just makes things look good when we pop it up. Okay. Oh, what's up with that? Okay. Oh, we could overlap these too, couldn't we? Oh, so many choices, so many things. sometimes when you're kind of stuck for what to do or how to do, if you just kind of throw some bits and pieces onto your desk, sometimes they land and it's like, oh, I like that. I like how those hearts are overlapping or whatever. Sometimes it's a great way to, and sometimes I'll have bits and pieces or different colors of cardstock that are just sitting on my desk, and I'll come down in the morning and I'll look at it and go, oh, do I ever like that color combination? And it's not colors that I got out to use together. It was just, you know, leftover pieces from some crafting I was doing. And all of a sudden I look and go, oh, I really like that together. So, okay, so I'm thinking maybe we'll put these sort of top and bottom, and then we could do a sentiment. We could do ribbon through the middle, maybe. I have, let's see, what do I have? Do we want more bling? We have this metallic mesh ribbon. I think this might be a little bit overkill, a little too much over the top. Yeah, it's kind of competing with the doilies, I think. But this would be pretty. This makes really pretty bows because it's so soft and squishy. But then it ends up being, well, here, I will show you what it looks like in a bow. Because it gets sort of smushed together, you see it a little bit more. There we go. And you can leave it, you know, all very close together like that, or a little bit more spread apart like that, but it just makes really pretty, delicate bows. This is in the annual catalog, carried over from Christmas 2020. They put it into the annual catalog, and it's really pretty. I think it started out as Halloween ribbon. I think it was sort of supposed to be like cobwebs and stuff. I've never used it for Halloween, but I really like it for Christmas and that. But it's just really pretty soft bows that it makes. So, but it does kind of compete with the doily. So we won't use that for tonight. But what else do we have on the menu? We have some red ribbon. We could put, oh, we have shiny gold. We got a lot of shine going on though. Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we don't even want ribbon. I'm not sure. We do have real red on real red. Not sure about that. Maybe we'll just put a sentiment in the middle and be happy. I might need, I have to cut another strip, maybe 3/4 wide. I'll cut a couple because we know how I do with the stamping, right? Look, here's a big long piece. I'll just cut the whole thing, 3/4 of an inch. There we go. So when you have just a narrow cut that you're trying to do, if you put your cutter down somewhere on your cardstock and go up and down, sometimes that works better than starting right at the top or right at the bottom if you're just taking a very narrow bit off. It just seems to give you a little nicer cut. So there, we have this many tries to get it right. Got my fingers crossed. And I think I'm going to go in a little bit further this time so that we can cut it into a little bit more of a banner. Let's see what we get here. Let's start here, and I'm going to go in. I'm going further than I need to, but I'll just do this. See if we. Oh, almost straight. I think I have this mounted crooked. I think I had my paper straight that time. So I am just going to tilt it up a little bit, and hopefully that will make it straight. Yes, much better. It must be on the block crooked because when I hold it crooked, it comes out straight. We don't really care how it happens. We're just happy that it did. Get rid of that guy. Close this up before I drop my good sentiment into it. And go about there. Hopefully that's a good length. And I am going to grab, oh, we could do kind of a, what would this look like, I wonder? I'm not sure. Oh, I could try it on one of these, couldn't I? Just to see. It might look kind of funny, but we'll give it a test. Yeah, that's kind of funny looking. It doesn't really look like how it's supposed to look. And on this end, I'm not sure. Okay, that one could work, but that's hard to get right in the center. So, okay, well, you never know till you try, right? And let's see, we have more of these. Let's just play with this one a little bit, see what we get. We put this into the bottom of here. Doesn't go down very far. It doesn't go down as far as I would need it to. I would have to trim it, but let's see. But it does give me that kind of a chevron, a point the other way. I think maybe we want banner ends. So I think I'm going to go get my tailored tag punch. And this is great for making banner ends. So we'll just put this in here. I think I'm going to hold it this way so I can have enough strength to squeeze. And we will start near the edge in case. I don't really know how long I want this yet. So we can always make it shorter, but we can't make it longer. Okay. So here it is on the red Lorna coming up. We'll do that. And then we'll put this across the middle like that, maybe. And then we may need just a couple little gems on that sentiment strip. What do we think? We think that will work? I think that might work. Yes, I think that might work. So when you are working with doilies like this, the easiest thing to do is pull out your silicone mat because your adhesive will not stick to this. And I am going to attach my heart to the doily, and I can use tape runner on here. If you use glue, it's going to go through an awful lot. So I'm going to use tape runner. And I'm going to be a little bit extra generous maybe with my tape runner. And put it right into the middle there. Okay, and then, is that the middle? That's really not the middle. This, I thought this and this were the same. They are. Why does it look like it looks like it's near the top? Maybe because that's where so much of the heart is. Anyway, I'm gonna move it down a little bit because to me it didn't look centered. Does this seem more centered? I think that looks better. Okay, and then when you attach this, you can put tape runner in this area and it will never show. If you put glue on the vellum, it can show, but if we have it stuck down all in this area, that will be enough to hold it in place. We don't need any further. I should be careful where I push that because that is, the sticky does go through the doily. So, okay, I'll get this one attached. I'll give him a good sticky. maybe. One thing, it's easy to take off of the vellum, at least at first. It'll stick down over time, but when you first put it down, you can pull it off. Okay, so those guys are ready to go on. I'll just set them there for a moment. And this time I am going to use liquid glue on the red because it is the narrow border and I want to leave it, I want to leave the red as wide as it is because of the size of the doilies. So I think this is the glue that's almost empty. Let's see if he's going to cooperate. There we go. And we will put this onto here. Hard to see white on white where my edges are. Okay, and I'll get him pushed down. There we go. I'm really liking this. It's looking pretty sitting there. Okay. And then, now, I'm not sure. Maybe we should put some liquid glue on here. Just, I don't know whether tape runner would tear at those doilies or not, but we can use liquid glue. Or do we want to even pop it up? Not sure about that. We'll just put some liquid glue onto here. So I'm going to put liquid glue all around the solid area, and that will hold it all in place. I'm going to put this guy pretty close to the top, in the middle. Go. And do this one. We'll put this one pretty close to the bottom, in the middle. Go. Okay. And then we have somewhere, we had a sentiment. Oh, there it is hiding. Okay. And we will put this on with dimensionals. Oh. Oh, good. Do you like it on the red, Lorna? Good, because we have the card rather assembled at this point. Now, next question. Straight? Oh, good. Thank you. Or no, I don't think we want. I think we want this one straight, don't we? Across those doily areas. Right into the middle here. Looks pretty centered. There we go. Okay, and then I'm liking it. What do we think? Just a little bling, maybe just a little tiny, maybe even pearls, which isn't, you know, it's not too blingy. It's just an accent. Not sure how much you'll see a pearl though. Let's see. See, pearls would be subtle. Yes, bling. Oh, I love you, Lorna. But do we want to stay a little subtle with something like a pearl? Or what else do we have to play with? I got these out, but I don't know that any of these colors will work. I just got these out because I saw them in the door and I haven't used them for a while, and I love these. We could go with something altogether new, some gold. Not sure about those. Oh, we have these. These are the opal rounds. These are kind of like that glitter paper, little speckles of green and stuff in there. I don't, too much speckles. Speckles in the pink and speckles in the bling. How about just gold? This is shiny gold. The other was brushed gold. Or we could do just clear rhinestones, because, you know, clear rhinestones kind of work on anything, don't they? You know what? I'm kind of liking the pearls. Yeah, I think so, Lorna. I think the pearls are enough to give it an accent, but not compete with all the sparkle of those parts. Oh, my little desk caddy just fell off my desk. Fortunately, it fell onto the plant stand that's right on the other side of my table there. So everything did not crash to the floor, thankfully. I think I'm going to go just right into the middle. But so I'm in the middle, top to bottom. Let's go middle, left to right here. If we can. It's a little hard to see when you mess up. There, and there, and then another. I'm going to use another big one there, I think. And we'll go right in here. Some little banner ends. There we go. What do you think? I kind of think so. Yeah. I think it's working. So, there we go. Oh, look, I'm running out of time. I'm late, I'm very, very late. Anyway, look. 2 really nice slimline cards. They worked out very nicely, didn't we? So Slimline is really easy to make. They're just, you know, they're just long and tall, but they fit in a standard envelope. And then you just, the only thing you need to watch is your proportions. You need a little bit more, you know, where 1 heart or 2 hearts might be enough on a regular card. You need 3 to fill a slimline to make it look full, or you need something larger to create your accent, just to expand it. And we didn't do one this way, but you can, of course, make them landscape as well if you want. But we did both of ours portrait tonight. So, okay, let me just switch this back, replace the spotlight. There we go, and I'm back. Okay, so that's tonight's That's Fancy. I hope you had fun. I enjoyed chatting with you, and I loved having your help with some of my decisions, since as I said, I had some ideas, but I hadn't actually planned anything. So Lorna, extra big thank you to you for suggesting slimline cards. And thanks, ladies, for your thoughts on what was working and what was not quite working. Okay, so we will hopefully see you again on Monday night. Great. Perfect. Thanks, Donna. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.